Did Jesus claim to be God? At the core of Christianity is the belief that God came to earth in the person of His Son, Jesus Christ. But did Jesus really claim to be God? Or is that a teaching that evolved over time? To find out, let's look further at what Jesus claimed for Himself. To the shock of the religious leaders who heard Him, Jesus claimed to have always existed with God the Father, meaning He never had a beginning. What really stunned these pompous religious leaders was that Jesus used the sacred name of God, YAHWEH, or I Am, for Himself. They were furious. Since the penalty for blasphemy was death by stoning, the Jewish leaders angrily picked up stones to kill Jesus. However, Jesus didn't alter His statement, even at the risk of being killed. C.S. Lewis explains their intense anger at Jesus' claim to be I Am. He says, "I am begotten of the one God. Before Abraham was, I am." And remember what the words I am were in Hebrew. They were the name of God, which must not be spoken by any human being, the name which it was death to utter. Jesus also used I am for Himself on several other occasions. Imagine the religious leaders' reactions upon hearing Jesus' other radical claims of being the great I am. I am the light of the world. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the only way to the Father. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the Good Shepherd. I am the door. I am the living bread. I am the true vine. I am the Alpha and Omega. On several occasions, Jesus acted as if He was God by forgiving sinners. His jaw-dropping claim to forgive sins infuriated the Jewish religious leaders, who witnessed Jesus' claim to forgive the sins of a man with palsy. Mark records the instance. The scribes who heard Him said, "Blasphemy! Who but God can forgive sins?" That's just the point. No man has the right or authority to speak for God when it comes to forgiveness of sins. Lewis imagines the stunned reactions of all those who heard Jesus. Lewis wrote, "Then comes the real shock. Among these Jews, there suddenly turns up a man who goes about talking as if he was God. He claims to forgive sins. He says He always existed. He says He is coming to judge the world at the end of time." Now let us get this clear. Among pantheists, like the Indians, anyone might say that He was a part of God, or one with God. But this man, since he was a Jew, could not mean that kind of God. God, in their language, meant the being outside the world, who had made it and was infinitely different from anything else. And when you have grasped that, you will see that what this man said was, quite simply, the most shocking thing that has ever been uttered by human lips. On another occasion, while talking to the religious leaders, Jesus dropped a bombshell, telling them, "The Father and I are one." Once again, the religious leaders were so incensed that they decided to stone Him to death. Jesus then asked them, "At my Father's direction, I have done many things to help the people. For which of these good deeds are you killing me?" They replied, "Because you, a mere man, have made yourself God." Jesus could have denied that He was God, but the fact that He didn't is evidence that He was claiming to be God in the flesh. Jesus' disciples also wanted to know about Jesus' relationship to the Father. One of them, Philip, asked Jesus to show us the Father. Jesus answers Philip with these shocking words. "Philip, don't you even yet know who I am, even after all the time I have been with you? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." In effect, Jesus was saying, "Philip, if you want to see the Father, look at me." After Jesus' resurrection, the skeptical Thomas said he would only believe Jesus rose from the dead if he could put his fingers on the nail wounds of Jesus' hands and into his pierced side. 8 days later, the disciples were all together in a locked room when the resurrected Jesus suddenly appeared in front of them. Jesus looked at Thomas and told him to "Put your finger here and see my hands. Put your hand into the wound in my side." Thomas needed no more proof. He instantly believed, exclaiming to Jesus, "My Lord and my God." Instead of reprimanding Thomas for worshiping him as God, Jesus commended him, saying, "You believe because you have seen me. Blessed are those who haven't seen me and believe anyway." Jesus accepted worship on 9 recorded occasions. So, did Jesus claim to be God? He did so by calling himself "I am." He did so by forgiving sin. He did so by accepting worship. He did so by rising from the dead. C.S. Lewis writes of Jesus' uniqueness as both God and man. What is beyond all space and time? What is uncreated, eternal, came into nature, descended into his own universe, and rose again. In the end, Jesus didn't just point to God. He declared himself to be God in the flesh. And the empty tomb stands as his final, irrefutable confirmation. To learn more, go to y-jesus.com/evidence and download the free book, Who is the Real Jesus?